So as part of our breathing series, I thought I'd share thoracic breath with you, so intercostal breathing. Now you can sit if that's comfortable for you, and you can sit on a chair, or you can sit in Sukhasana as I'm sitting, or you can even kneel actually if that's comfortable to you. Otherwise you could come down and lie on your backs. So if you find that more supportive than coming onto your backs, and I might suggest you have your knees bent and your feet flat to the mats. Okay. So in intercostal breathing, or thoracic breath, we're concentrating the breath within the chest cavity. Okay, so it can be helpful to gain a greater connection if we bring our hands onto our rib cage. So maybe you have a hand underneath each breast, or to the side of your ribs there, a little bit more towards the sides of your ribs. Or if that's tricky for you, even just having your hands kind of around the top of your chest, around your collarbones, can be helpful. Okay, so as you choose. And then the idea is that you're breathing through your nose, and as you breathe in, you're trying to create space between each of your ribs so that there's almost more space for the breath within the lungs. So you're working the middle part of the lobes of the lungs. Okay, so breath comes in through the nose, and the rib cage, both sides move apart from one another, and then they lift up slightly. So should we give that a go? Let's just settle into a few rounds. So you're breathing in through your nose, your rib cage expands outwards and lifts upwards. Okay, and then just let that settle for a moment following your exhalation. So it can sometimes be really tricky actually, and we're trying our hardest, and yet there's not much movement. And it's like muscle, I mean like any other muscle actually, the more you kind of work with them, the greater your connection with them. But if you're not used to working with your intercostal muscles, then it's tricky. Now, traditionally we might sit really to breathe, because those of you who have been lying on your back to try the thoracic breath will notice that there's not much room for the back ribs to move. So you might have a go at trying it seated upright as well. I mean, stay on your back if you're happy to do so. You might be struggling even to feel any movement at the moment, so it doesn't matter so much about the back body, but otherwise you might come to sit so that you can explore not only the outward movement of the rib cage and the lifting up, but also the sort of outward through the back ribs as well. Okay, so we'll just settle into a few more rounds here. Okay, so in your own time when you're ready, breathing in through your nose, down through your windpipe into your lungs, and feeling the container of the rib cage expanding in a like a 3D nature all around you to accommodate the breath, and then release on the exhalation. Going if you can, just trying to soften the face. just sitting upright, trying not to let the shoulders kind of reduce your capacity for breath, so keep a lightness through your arms and through the wrist joints and the elbow joints. Let's just take our last couple of rounds of breath. Okay, and then we'll let go of the breath, the next exhalation. And maybe you just pause to notice how you feel and then continue taking a few more rounds of breath. Some of you might just sit in quiet meditation. Some might come to lie on your back. I'll leave you just to settle into whatever feels right for you now.